Jails are places of violence, but murders behind bars are exceptionally rare, especially in provincial jails like the Toronto South Detention Centre. But that's what happened here last night after an inmate charged with mischief was killed in his cell after making a court appearance yesterday. Victor Agundaby started his day at the College Park courthouse where his charge, mischief, was read to the court. The 41-year-old man returned to the Etobicoke jail shortly afterwards and was locked in his cell with a cellmate, and that's where the deadly fight allegedly took place. Now, Toronto South is a direct supervision jail. That means that correctional officers are actually on the range interacting with inmates at all times. Inmates have a lot of freedom, but there are a few exceptions, like the intake unit, and that's where sources tell us the victim was housed. A new inmate, sources say Agundaby was housed in the lockdown unit until he could be assessed for security classification. His cellmate was also new to the system, a 22-year-old unknown to staff at the maximum security jail. Virtual strangers, they couldn't have known each other for more than a couple of days, and there were no known disputes between the two men. Now, the intake unit was locked down for the night, and inmates on work duty were actually clearing up the range. And that's when officers were alerted to the fight, when a group of working inmates started clustering around one cell. Sources tell CityNews that officers saw the workers congregating on video and went to check on the scene. They immediately called a code blue, essentially all hands on deck. Officers broke up the fight and took the victim out of the cell while calling a medical alert. Nurses from within the jail worked on Agundaby, who sources say was initially alert until paramedics arrived. Agundaby was transported to hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. Jelani Hibbert is now charged with second-degree murder and made an appearance in a North York courtroom this afternoon. Police and the Ministry of Community Safety and Correctional Services continue to investigate. Outside of the Toronto South Detention Centre, Christina Howarn, City News.